joined Live and Rent as a GHA tenant because I wasn't getting any satisfaction with my landlord. During the pandemics, they stopped the close cleaning, which is a communal area, and they didn't clean it for a year. So basically when we took that up as a protest against them, the Scottish Government brought in guidelines for landlords to continue with communal cleaning, and there's 2 other housing associations in this area which took up those guidelines, but GHA didn't. The closes were filthy and they were smelling, and this was during the height of the lockdowns and the pandemics, and they said eventually the guidelines were just guidelines, they weren't law, so they didn't have to do it.
I joined when I heard about the campaign to defend the libraries and to push for an opening date for our local library. So Langside Library had been closed during the pandemic, as most had. So when lockdown kind of ended and things started to open back up, Glasgow Life weren't really given any dates basically on when certain libraries would open. These libraries especially tended to be in communities that need libraries most. And it was a concern basically that it was a method of just closing libraries and never giving a date. We worked with other groups in the community to do readings, and we did a demo outside Langside Library just to push for an opening date basically, and we got an opening date and the library's open again.
I got involved with Live and Rent a couple of years ago because I felt that I don't really have a great deal of faith in parliamentary politics in Scotland or the UK at the moment. I felt that getting involved with an organisation like Live and Rent would be an effective way to build community power. The interests of tenants are not well represented in the Scottish Parliament, the UK Parliament. I think something like a quarter of MSPs in the Scottish Parliament are landlords themselves, so that's a kind of an idea of the disparity and the competing interests. So yeah, I got involved because I felt it was a good way to be part of a genuine community empowerment project and hopefully achieve radical change when it comes to housing and social justice.
I grew up in Sweden. Housing in Sweden tends to be fairly good. And then I moved straight into student housing in Glasgow, and I could not believe the state of it. In the second flat I lived in, we had leaks from the ceilings, we had mold in the bathroom. One winter morning, my flatmate was pulling down her window because she'd opened it to get some air in, and the bottom of the window completely fell off. And then it was just left unrepaired for 3 months. It's very clear to me that it is very possible to achieve a better housing system. We just need to light the fire to make it happen.
I was having a whole host of problems in my own house. Our boiler had broke, our pipes had burst, the place was soaking wet, there was no heating, there was all sorts of problems, and it felt like a never-ending back and forth between ourselves and the landlord. And it got to that point where we'd exhausted every option except tribunal. I was looking about and stumbled across Live and Rent, and yeah, I signed up, and on the sign-in thing there's a little thing like, why are you joining? And I put in like, I'm having some problems. I heard there were some resources. It was actually just like PDF packs that I just wanted to read and see what there was. And then I actually got a call from one of the Live and Rent staff members, and from there I managed to get some really good help from some of the other members in Partick, and with their help and alongside them I managed to take it to my landlords, and pretty much because I had that backing, I just name dropped Live and Rent and I got a result. I got money back on the damage that had got done. I got pretty much instant repairs, and I think ever since really I've been treated a lot better by my landlord.
I think Live and Rent kind of gave me a sense that there's something could be done because of their campaign against Serco, which is a multinational outsourcing company which had the Home Office contracts for asylum seekers in the city. So they decided overnight to evict 300 people with lock change evictions. And so kind of through that campaign, Live and Rent was like leading on like the member defence and kind of keeping out people from like evicting families that have no recourse to public funds. And like I just saw the scale of the injustice, and I saw the people that were actually working to do something about it and actually doing it like through direct action and kind of collective organising.